Have you ever wondered about the man behind the most celebrated works of English literature, William Shakespeare? Today we're going to explore the life and works of this legendary figure, a man who has intrigued and perplexed scholars for centuries. Shakespeare, often referred to as the Bard, was not just a playwright but a poet, a dramatist, and an actor. His works have stood the test of time, remaining immensely popular even 400 years after his death. His plays and poems have been translated into every major living language, and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. He has left an indelible mark on the English language, introducing phrases and words that we still use today. But who was he really? What was his life like? How did he come to write such enduring masterpieces? The answers to these questions are shrouded in mystery. So, let's dive into the life of this mysterious man who has given us timeless literary masterpieces. Born in Stratford-upon-Avon in 1564, William Shakespeare's early life was as ordinary as it could be. A child of rural middle-class parents, John Shakespeare and Mary Arden, William was the third of 8 children. His father was a glover and wool dealer, while his mother hailed from a family of prosperous farmers. Growing up in a bustling household, young William had a rather typical upbringing. He most likely attended the King's New School, a local grammar school where the curriculum was primarily focused on Latin grammar, literature, and rhetoric. While the school records have not survived, it's widely accepted that William would have been a student there, honing his skills in language and literature, the tools that would later make him a master wordsmith. At the tender age of 18, Shakespeare took a wife, Anne Hathaway, who was 8 years his senior. Their courtship and marriage are shrouded in mystery and speculation. What we do know is that they had 3 children, Susanna and the twins, Hamlet and Judith. His experiences as a husband and a father living in a small English town would later find echoes in his plays. The Shakespeare family was not without its struggles. John Shakespeare, William's father, faced financial difficulties, and the family's status in the community waned. Yet it was these very ordinary experiences, the joys and sorrows of everyday life, that gave Shakespeare his profound understanding of human nature. And so, our story finds young William on the cusp of adulthood, with a family to support and an uncertain future ahead. A small-town boy with big dreams, he was yet to discover the destiny that awaited him. He was yet to become the Bard, the master storyteller whose works would captivate audiences for centuries to come. The young man from Stratford was soon to take the world by storm. Little did he know that his name would echo through the ages, and his words would become immortal. But that, as they say, is a story for another day. By the late 1580s, Shakespeare had made his way to London and began making a name for himself in the world of theatre. The bustling metropolis of London was a stark contrast to his humble beginnings in Stratford-upon-Avon, but it was here that he found his calling. As a member of the theatrical company, the Lord Chamberlain's Men, Shakespeare began to showcase his extraordinary talent. The Lord Chamberlain's Men was one of the most popular theater companies of the time, and it was during his association with this company that Shakespeare wrote some of his most memorable plays. He was not just a playwright. He was an active member of the company, performing in many of his own plays. His early works in London were mostly histories and comedies. He penned down stories from English history, breathing life into historical figures like Richard III and Henry V. His histories were not mere chronicles of events. They were dramatic, filled with political intrigue, battles, and personal conflicts. Then there were his comedies, plays that were light-hearted and filled with wit, like A Midsummer Night's Dream and The Comedy of Errors. These plays were a testament to Shakespeare's ability to blend humor with complex themes of love, identity, and misunderstandings. His plays were a hit with the London crowd. They flocked to the theaters to see his works, drawn in by his compelling characters, intricate plots, and profound insights into the human condition. Shakespeare had a knack for capturing the complexity of emotions and the nuances of human nature, and it was this ability that set him apart from his contemporaries. While he enjoyed success in London, this was just the beginning of his illustrious career. His early years in London were a stepping stone, a prelude to the more profound works that he would later create. These early plays laid the foundation for his later masterpieces, and were instrumental in establishing his reputation as a playwright. London was just the beginning. The world was yet to witness the full extent of Shakespeare's genius. In the late 1590s and early 1600s, Shakespeare's works took a darker and more romantic turn. This shift in tone was a mirror reflecting the changing times, both in his personal life and the world around him. Let's take a moment to delve into this period, a time when Shakespeare penned some of his most profound tragedies and enchanting romances. Considered to be the heart of Shakespearean literature, these works are not just stories, they're explorations of the human condition, a deep dive into the complexities of love and the darkness of ambition. Take Romeo and Juliet, for instance. It's not merely a tale of two star-crossed lovers, it's a study on the destructive nature of hate and the transformative power of love. The depth of these characters, their tragic fate intertwined with the bitter feud of their families, has made this play a timeless masterpiece. Then we have Hamlet, a tragedy that delves into the human psyche, exploring themes of madness, revenge, and moral corruption. Hamlet's soliloquies, his internal debates, and his tragic downfall hold a mirror up to the audience, forcing us to confront our innermost fears and desires. And who can forget Macbeth, a dark and powerful tragedy about unchecked ambition and the devastating effects it can have. The witches, their prophecies, and the spiral of insanity that ensues serve as a chilling reminder of the perils of power and the human capacity for self-destruction. These plays, and others from this period, are filled with complex characters, intricate plot lines, and an array of literary devices that have shaped the course of English literature. Shakespeare's use of soliloquies, metaphors, and dramatic irony not only enhance the narrative, but also provide a deeper understanding of his characters and their motivations. Shakespeare's tragedies and romances have left an indelible mark on world literature. They have transcended time and place, resonating with audiences across the globe. His profound exploration of human emotions, his masterful storytelling, and his unparalleled use of language have ensured his place in the pantheon of literary greats. In the final act of his life, Shakespeare returned to Stratford and continued to write until his death in 1616. After the bustling city life of London, Shakespeare sought solace in the quieter, more serene environment of Stratford. Here he penned some of his most poignant and introspective works, including The Tempest and The Winter's Tale. The characters in these plays reflect a maturity and depth, perhaps mirroring the playwright's own contemplation of life and mortality. William Shakespeare's final years were not without their share of drama. The playwright who had breathed life into countless characters on stage was himself embroiled in a tale of intrigue and mystery. His last will and testament, a document that has been analyzed and dissected by scholars for centuries, is a testament to his complex and richly layered life. And then, on April 23, 1616, the world's greatest dramatist breathed his last. His death marked the end of an era, but not the end of his story. In a fitting tribute to the Bard of Avon, his grave was inscribed with a curse against moving his bones, a sentiment as dramatic and theatrical as the man himself. But death was not the final curtain for Shakespeare's legacy. His plays, sonnets, and poems continue to be celebrated, studied, and performed centuries after his death. His words have transcended time and geography, permeating various cultures and languages. His characters, from the tragic Hamlet to the vivacious Beatrice, live on in the hearts and minds of audiences around the world. Shakespeare's enduring popularity is a testament to the universal appeal of his works. His ability to delve into the human psyche, to explore themes of love, ambition, jealousy, and power, resonates with audiences, regardless of the epoch they inhabit. And so, the curtain fell on the life of the world's greatest playwright, but his legacy lives on. William Shakespeare, the Bard of Avon, continues to hold the world stage, his words echoing through the corridors of time, reminding us of the sheer power and beauty of the written word. William Shakespeare's life was as fascinating as his works, but it's his enduring legacy that truly sets him apart. From his early days in Stratford-upon-Avon to his prolific career in London, Shakespeare's life was a testament to his genius. But what truly sets him apart is the legacy he left behind. A legacy that has shaped and continues to shape English literature and language to this day. His works, teeming with wit, tragedy, romance, and truth, remain as popular today as they were in his time. They have been translated into every major language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. His words have seeped into our everyday language, his characters have become our archetypes, and his insights into the human condition remain as relevant as ever. Shakespeare's legacy is not just in his plays and sonnets, but in the enduring influence they have had on our culture, our language, and our understanding of the human experience. William Shakespeare, a man of mystery, a master of words, and an enduring icon of world literature,